Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper. My name is Jackie Vandersar-Boot, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in both Canada and the Netherlands. And today I want to share with you a beautiful stamp set called Artful Amaryllis. And this video is as much for customers as it is for fellow demonstrators, because you see, my husband is an amaryllis cut flower grower. So I actually have samples of real flowers to inspire you with how to color and how to design your amaryllis stamps. So let's take a look. And here I have, I'll hold it up like that so you can see it here too. This one is in full bloom. I'm just going to put it under here and it's going to be really close. But see, this is a red one, as you can obviously see, and it's just a little bit darker in the middle. And see the stamens? They are actually red as well with just a yellow tip. So I just want to show that to you. You can see that the Stampin' Up! Designers did a great job with the dies with those little lines in there, because that's exactly what the flowers have. And then you can see here, if I turn it, you see that brown? We even have a little die for that. Every amaryllis has this. Now this one's been in a vase for about 2 weeks. Okay, so it's quite dried out. I'm going to show you a yellow one, and I'm also going to show you, see here, the last bud is just opening up. So you can see there's also a tinge of green in there. So that's a big, fully blooming red one. Now, here is a red one that is just, this one only has 2 flowers. The good ones have 4, but you can see the bud here, it's green. And then if you turn it a little bit, you can see a little bit of pink coming in. So that's how you would color your buds. They're not going to be red. Okay? And here you don't see that little brown piece yet either. All right, now we're ready for a white one. And here is the white one. And see how the inside is green? That would be a granny apple green. And then the stamens are white with a yellow tip. And then you can see the flower as well. See, here is the piece again, and here it's not quite as brown because it's still fresher. But we have the die for that as well. And you can see how the stem has the pieces coming out just like the die. I'll show you the dies in a minute. So this gives you a good idea of how to color your amaryllis. I'm going to show you there are more than 60 varieties of amaryllis. Now when they get harvested, they look like this. This is how they will come to someone in the flower shop and at home. And this will open up to white, but you see how the buds are green. Okay, so I could keep showing you. Here it is again in bud still, but you can see that piece that we also have a die for. So I hope you found this helpful. In a minute, I'm going to make a few cards with you. And then here is the whole, look at this. Look at all the different amaryllises there are. You can go to amaryllis.eu and also on Instagram, info@amaryllis, I think it's called. But I'm just going to quickly look at that. There's all white ones. Then there's also pink ones, double ones, single ones. You name it. I forget exactly. Also, that peach color is one of my favorites here, Relona. So I will maybe put the link to the Amaryllis website so that you can see how many different, see there it is in a bouquet. It often gets paired, you can also get striped ones. It often gets paired in bouquets with eucalyptus. So, okay, that's enough amaryllis. So here you can see I have made a red one, and there. But I've also done, so we'll make those. I'm going to show you how to do a red one and how to do a white one. So I've cut them all out, and I asked Gerard, that's my husband, which the best red would be for a amaryllis. And he said Poppy Parade. So we have Poppy Parade. So for the stamens, I would suggest, oh, this one's colored already, to do it in white, and then you can color it. There. So you can either use a blend or a marker, whatever you prefer. And then remember, for the red one, it was red in the middle and red on the stems, and just the tips are yellow. So if you want to be true to the flower, that's how you want it. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It looks kind of orange in the color, but it's not orange. It's, I guess poppy berry does have a little bit of orange to it. So you can use blends or markers to do this. And then for this one, same thing. You're just going to do the ends in yellow. I'm using lemon lolly. And then you're going to do this part in Poppy Parade. And then for the white ones, we're going to use different colors. I'm just going to go up a little bit more because I don't want that yellow to be too big. Don't want any white pieces. Okay. And then for the middle, you could use a sponge dauber, which is what I did. I used a sponge dauber for, and this one's going to go over top of that one. So, and this one's going to go over top of this one. Okay, let me see. Here's my Poppy Parade. So on this one, that's going to go on top, you just want to make that darker. And then that's going to go on here. And then this one is going to go on the bigger one. And the red is darker in the middle. And it's very subtle, but you do notice the difference. So that's for that one. And then for the little stamen part, I like to pick it up and just press it all towards the middle. Okay, so let's do this. A little bit of liquid adhesive, sorry, just make sure I'm, put a little bit of liquid adhesive, and then just kind of pop up the leaves a little bit. That glue will dry clear, so don't worry about that. And then I'll put a little dab in the middle. And then I like to just, I've got an old pokey tool here, which is just fine. You don't want that to move over too far. Just give it a good press, and then you can pop all the leaves up a little bit. Just turn it a bit. There, and then we'll just put it off to the side to let it dry. Make sure it doesn't turn the wrong way. Here, move it out of the way. Now this one, we're just going to put a little bit of adhesive here on the tip. Then we're going to put this one over top. There. So you can see you've got a bit of a dimension. And then this one that we've colored, see? Grab that. Put a tiny little bit of adhesive on the tip here. And then, let's see, just hold that and just tuck it in like so. There. And I don't want it stuck on, so I want to lift that up again. There. Okay. So there we have our red ones. Now we're going to do the bud. And so the white, we're just going to grab you could use a blend. I have my sponge, and I'm going to take a bit of old olive. This one's a little bit light. It could go a little bit darker than that. And just rub it over. Here's the finished one. That's a lighter one. And then I suggest making a whole pile. Have a little pile of bits of buds and flowers and stuff. And then you can create, and you don't have to stop every time to die cut. There. So there's the red ones. Now we're going to do some yellow ones. And I have some done a little bit. So remember, with the yellow ones, we had the outside was a granny apple green. So, and just do this. And then a little bit in the middle of the, and we need the skinny one. Do I still have a skinny one? Yeah, I do. I was going to say, otherwise I have to start creating again, and I don't want to do that. Here. So there we go. It's not the best because I was too much in a hurry, which is not a good thing. Now we'll just put them together. And you know what? In nature, no two flowers are exactly the same. So, and then the same thing you're going to do in the middle. And then with this one, you can just see how it looks so nice with that little bit of, you could add a little wink of Stella as well, because the white ones especially look like they're sparkling. Now, here you can see the yellow flowers all done. This is a card that I did with my team member Caroline Bone from the Netherlands, and she took the white core paper, it's pecan pie, and you just sand it, and then you get that white. And this is from Country Blooms. And the other thing I want to show you is that with the leaves, the amaryllis has big, tall leaves. I'm just trying to grab them like this. And then the stem is really long. They're up to 1 meter long. And if you want to give your leaves a little bit more depth, then you're going to want to take a little bit of old olive again and then just brush over top. And it just looks nicer. And then the stem, you're going to build it kind of like this. And then the flower, 4 flowers are usually on there, but you're not going to see all 4 at the same time. So you can put them in different stages of development. And then you want that little green piece to be above your flower. And then you can do a bud on the other side like this. We'll build a card in a minute to make this happen. Okay, so let's just move this all out of the way. I used a weaving technique for this card, and I was inspired again by my friend Caroline. And she made a beautiful scrapbook page, and so I adapted the scrapbook page into a card. Now, I haven't actually watched anyone do the weaving technique, so I'm just going to give my own spin to it. This is a piece of the Country Woods paper, and I would say it would be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 with a basic beige base. And then I have strips of the paper from, oh goodness, what's it called? Golden Greenery. So like this, and like this, and like this. And then these ones are going to go like this and like that. So what I did to weave is that I'll just move these off to the side. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on both ends. This is a little bit, if you've ever made a lattice top pie, which I have, but you can't bend the paper the same way that you bend the dough, because you can just lay it and fold it over. So this one's about 1/2 inch by 5 3/8. If you go a little bit too far, you can always trim it off. Oh, okay. I'm rubbing over the whole thing, but I only have adhesive on both ends, so that's good. So now I'm going to put this one across. This one is 5/8 of an inch, and again, just put adhesive on the 2 ends, not all the way across. There, like so. And then I'm just looking at my finished card to see how far down, about 1/2 inch from the bottom. There. And now this is the next piece, and it's going to go over top. So far I'm doing okay. for the weaving bit. I did my first one differently, and this one is going a little more easily. So maybe I've made sense of it. You know, there's always more than one way to get to have a result. And sometimes some ways are more difficult than others. But it really looks nice. Oops, this wood paper with this golden greenery is just gorgeous. It's the perfect backdrop for the amaryllis. Okay, now we're going to do this little skinny one, and this is where it's going to get difficult because this one has to go underneath. See, because it's under, over, under. So now I'm going to, well, I'll do the bottom one first. Push it down a little bit, flip it over. Now see, it doesn't stay. Dough would stay. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here, pull it through, and this one's going to go a little bit closer. I am getting a little bit of adhesive on my fingers, I'm not going to lie, but that's okay. I'm going to slide it. The nice thing about using liquid adhesive is that it's forgiving. So now I have some adhesive and I'm just going to rub it off. And it does. It's pretty good. Just have to give yourself a minute. Well, not even a minute. Rub it off. And now we're going to bend this one over. Put a little adhesive on it. Okay. Guide it so that it's even. There we go. Now we need this piece, and it's going to go under and over. You can see why now, and you can get your pokey tool to lift this up a little bit. You can see why we didn't put any glue. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this over, put a little bit of adhesive here, and then lift it. And there, press it down. And now we can lift this one up. I think this one's a bit crooked, and it's too late. But you know what? If that piece is a wee little bit crooked, by the time I get my amaryllis flower in there, we're going to distract people with the flowers so they don't see that that little stripe is crooked. And you know, who's to know that you didn't mean it to be that way? There. Good enough is good enough. So now I'm going to take this piece and put it on my card base. And then we're going to put our amaryllis in there. And at the very end, I'm going to show you my other amaryllis cards so you can see how they turned out. I was planning to make one more, but I ran out of time. I didn't sleep well last night. I had a bad cold. You know when you have that scratchy sore throat and you just keep clearing your throat and you just can't sleep? Okay, so now I want to tuck this in like so. See how the leaf kind of goes up like that? And then I did this when I made the card that I just was playing with it. Let's see, I can't see which one and then that's going to go over top. Anyway, let's do that first. So I'm just going to put adhesive again on the bottom here because I want the rest of those leaves to feel like there's some movement going on. You don't want it to appear flat. So that's going to go under here, go a little bit up. So, and then my leaf. I'm having a hard time picking things up. Okay. You know what? I'm using the wrong one. I have one that's been sponged. So again, just along the bottom. And here we go. Underneath. I don't want it to go too far. There. Go up a little bit more. There we go. Now, the red flower. A generous amount of glue, because it's going to hold this down. Oh, Jackie. See, I do make mistakes. There. And now, the little one, the half open flower. Did I tell you that it takes about 2 weeks that your amaryllis will last in a vase? This one's going to get tucked underneath that little green part. And now the bud. I could do another, like you could make this as full as you want and then not have the bud. Let's see. Here's the bud. Or you could even do two buds. Look, I have two buds. That looks kind of different too. See, then you can see that there's 4 flowers. I like that. I'm going to do that. It gives just a little more authenticity to the flower. And you can see that I didn't even bother gluing down the little cover. I'm going to call it the cover. I'm not sure what to call it. Gerard would know the right name. So, perfect. Because it's not going to move. It will stay over top of my bud, so we don't have to make more work. Okay. Here we're just going to lift it up a little bit. And get it into place. Look at that. And then all we need to do, you could leave it just like this. I did, so now you can see whether you like the white one or the red one better. And then the Here For You is from Changing Leaves, as is that die. And what's nice about this card is that it doesn't have to be a Christmas card. It's very much a Christmas flower, but this flower is also grown from October right through to March. So it's a winter flower, not a Christmas flower. So I would suggest that you add it to your repertoire. I think it's really beautiful. I think it's unusual. And it's really catching on. Like, it's becoming a super popular flower. It's been going for years and years. Now here is the amaryllis flower colored with the watercolor pencils. I was going to show you how to do this, but I can't find my watercolor pencils, so I've ordered new ones. And they are on sale yet today. Today is the last day of the seasonal sale. So blends are on sale, the watercolor pencils are on sale, and bundles from the annual catalog. So that this Country Woods one would be on sale. Anyway, I hope that you found this to be a helpful video. I just want to say goodbye with my beautiful amaryllis flowers, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. Bye, everyone, and good luck with the amaryllis.